One of my favorite lectures right here, and the reason why it is one of my favorites is because I feel so strongly about you learning this. So there's 4 things that lead to divorce or relationship breakup, and I think that this is a lesson that should be taught to everybody, maybe starting in high school. So the first thing is that the first thing that leads to divorce is criticism. So that's something that you need to get rid of in your vocabulary, and that's a skill that you could start on today. And let me show you the difference between criticism and complaining, because Gottman says that through his research that complaining is okay, and as a matter of fact, he found that successful couples are constantly doing these like little micromanaging things where they're constantly like redirecting, but in a very, very small way. So let me show you the difference between criticism and complaining. So I'll just tell you a flaw of mine. So I am one of those creative people that's kind of messy. Just my brain does not work in an organized way, and so just even if I try to organize everything, it's never going to look as neat and as cool as those of you that are super organized. My brain just doesn't function that way. So let's pretend that my partner comes home and I've been in one of those creative zones and there's stuff all over the house. This would be criticism. Oh my God, what do you do all day? I think there's something wrong with you. You know what? I just don't understand how in the world that someone can let the house get like this. I mean, this is like a tornado. What is going on? Okay, that's criticism. And can you feel? I would feel so ashamed of myself. I would feel like such a loser. I would feel like, oh my God, I'm a terrible person. This is complaining. Okay, ready? Complaining. Oof. Looks like you've been creative today. That's so cool. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed because everything's in such a disarray. Do you know when you're gonna be able to get it all back together? Can I help you get it back together? What can we do? Should I go upstairs because I'm not feeling comfortable with this? Okay, do you see, first of all, he finds very successful when you say, what can we do about this problem? What can we do about this problem? I'm feeling this, and I need your help with this. That's complaining, like, oh, I wish that I miss you, and I wish that I could connect with you more during the day, because I know couples, they fight about texting, so let's try to do texting. Something a little bit different. So one gets mad at the other because they don't text back on time. I see that over and over again. So, you're so selfish. You never think of me. It's like I need you and I could just die. And you wouldn't even know. You're never there for me. You just go off in your own world and you never think of me. Okay, so that would be criticism. Complaining would be, I need to connect with you. It's so important that I connect with you during the day. It would make my world better if I connect with you more. Can we try to work on that together? So it's a skill, but the skill is relatively easy to learn. Okay? Here's the trick. You don't say you say I feel. So every time that something comes out of your mouth, you should say, I feel this, I feel this. Look at the difference between like on a teacher, okay, right? So a pet peeve of mine as a teacher, it's something that really bothered me. You guys don't have to worry about it because we're doing this online here. But something that really bothered me is I'm lecturing in class and someone would come in late and they would walk right across me. And that would drive me crazy because my mind, like can't focus on too many things at once. So when someone walks right across me, it's hard for me not to get stopped by that. It just takes my brain off the track it was going, and like it just directs it right to the person walking in late. So I would get upset about it. So if I was mean and criticizing the person, I would be like, dang, what's wrong with you? Didn't you learn any manners? That's not the way you walk into class late. That would be the criticism way. But the complaining way would be, hey, I get really distracted when someone walks across me. If you come in late, can you please sit on the edges of the class so that I can stay on track? Do you see the difference? They're both strong and they're both getting the message across, but one is focusing on what my needs are. So look, the way that you communicate this is you say, this is what I see. When you walk in late and cross me, I get distracted. Look, I didn't make a judgment. I just said, you walk across me, I get distracted. When you walk in and you see the house a mess, I see things scattered everywhere and I feel overwhelmed. So here's the model for complaining. As you say, this is what I see, no judgment. This is what I feel, and this is what I need. This is what I see, this is what I feel, this is what I need. You can practice that on anything. You guys could give me anything that you need to communicate to somebody, and I can make it look clean with that. You can make it look clean with that. All you got to do is be like, this is what I see. So maybe your boss is yelling at you. You know what? When you talk that loud to me, I feel it makes me want to shut down. It makes me feel defensive. Can you try to maybe write a letter to me if you feel your voice raised, or can you try to talk to me a little bit differently? Okay, so you guys are probably saying, no, Amy, that's not going to work. Let me try again. Okay, let me try again. Okay, right? Your boss is yelling at you. Just, hey, I want to do everything that you need, but a loud voice really affects me deeply. Can you try to tell me like in a little lower tone? So I know a lot of you are probably thinking, no way, that would never work with my boss. But you have to admit that if I said it just maybe a tiny bit different, no matter your meanest boss, I think it could work. Like just something like, oh, you know what? I want to fix whatever you need, but that loud voice, it affects me deeply. Just boom, just like that. Don't even tell them, just like, hey, I'm going to solve whatever you need. Don't worry. But I can't handle that voice. It really threatens me. Just something like that. You'll see. Okay, so probably a lot of you are rolling your eyes right now. I'll move on. Okay, so the next one is contempt. Okay, so once you get to criticism often leads to contempt. And I know I've been guilty of doing this. I can be super mean. I told you I have a bad temper. And when I see myself do this, I'm like, oh my God, you have just committed the cardinal sin of marriage, of relationships. Okay, so you get so angry at someone that you say something that you know is going to hurt them. Oh, that's terrible. So like, you know what their weak spot is, and then you say it. So let's say that someone cheated on someone else, and you know that they were deeply hurt by that. And then you go there and be like, well, you know what? I know why your past boyfriend cheated on you. Because you are like this. Oh, ouch. So here's a contempt I remember with a friend of mine. So remember I told you that kids are really, they're hard on the marriage, right? So a friend of mine, she had gained weight from her first baby. And I told you that the babies, they split you apart. And she was dying for human contact, because when you stay at home with the babies, it's like so draining because the babies never stop. They just need you, and you just feel so drained of energy. And so she wanted to go out and connect with her husband, but her husband was also feeling drained because that's what they do, is the babies take all of your energy. They wake you up in the middle of the night. They never stop. You can't, the house gets a mess, so then they have to pick up. It's just something. So anyway, she goes, I really want to go out this Friday. And I guess he was feeling tired. And he's like, I don't know what you're going to wear. None of your clothes fit you anymore. Oh, ouch. Because she was already feeling like bad that she had gained some weight from the pregnancy. And that was her weak spot. And then he went there and hit that. Okay, so then if someone hits your contempt spot, it's like they've dug a knife through your heart and they've created a wound in you. And once somebody creates a wound in you, you're going to protect it, right? Because you're like, oh my gosh, you went there. You hurt me there. That really hurt. So then what happens is you get defensive with them. You no longer trust them. So you now are on the lookout because, hey, you attacked me where I was weak, and so now you're on the lookout to get hurt again. Defensiveness is when you interpret a neutral statement in a negative manner. So just as an example with my friend. So the next day, he came home, he's like, hey, babe, I'm really sorry about our fight last night, but I want to try to take you out. But she was still hurt. And so she goes, nope, you're right. I don't have any clothes to wear. And maybe that's not really a good example. So, because it's supposed to be a neutral statement, that one, like, hey, what did you do today? And then she was like, oh, I just sat around and ate all day so I could get fatter. They just turn and twist things in a negative manner. So, I remember one time somebody accused the other person of taking something, and then when they would ask the person, like, hey, have you seen this? They turned it and was like, I didn't touch that. I didn't touch your stuff. And then the person's like, wait a second, I was just asking you if you had saw it. I wasn't saying that you took it. That's what defensiveness is they just turn and twist things in a negative way. Okay, so once it's like, I can't even talk to you because anything I say is going to be twisted into a negative statement, is what happens is you start to build this stone wall. And the stone wall, I know that when I teach it face-to-face, a lot of my students say that they have seen this with their parents' relationship, is what happens with the stone wall is the couple lives separate lives. So before my husband and I split up, we had this. Oh my gosh, we had this. It was so terrible. Is literally, I think we went for 8 months without speaking to each other. It was crazy. So what happens is you just live separate lives, and you've made the decision, I can't talk to you. Anything that I say will be held against me, kind of the Miranda rights. And so I am not even going there. And once the couple stops fighting and they disengage from each other and the stone wall has come up, Gottman says that it's 80% chance that the relationship's going to end. So coming back from a stone wall, we're like, you know what? I'm going to live my life. You live your life. I'm not engaging with you anymore. You try to fight with me. I'm not even going to fight with you anymore. I'm just done. There's a stone wall between us. He says it's really, really difficult to get back from that. Hey, so this is the 4 things that lead to divorce. So I guess what I need to tell you is just try not to criticize your partner. If you don't go to stage 1, then you're not going to go to stage 2. But you can't let things get out of hand. You have to learn how to complain. If you need something, you have to tell them what you need. You can't ask them to be a mind reader. So that's what he was talking about, kind of this micromanaging. The moment that you feel neglected, hey, we need to connect more. Hey, we need to do this. Hey, I would like to do this. And then trying to slowly get your needs met. And then also, I hope that you guys will see these bids for attention. The number one reinforcing things for all humans is attention. And so, I hope that you will recognize when your partner needs attention. You need to give it to them. When they're asking for little things, how do I look in this dress? You look beautiful. Like, remembering to give them attention is so important. When they make these little bids about like, how is this? Or what is this? Or I want to show you this. You see that and you're like, okay, let me give them attention. And then what we're usually fighting for is we're fighting for people's attention. Is there's probably like energy, and that's what a relationship is the give and take of energy. And so if you're giving energy to your partner, then it's filling them up, and then you also need energy back. Okay.